Rochester community. So there's been a lot of talk. I've got some feedback around the conversation around Scott's appointment to the Board of Education and whether I was on a fishing expedition, around what I posted in his connection to Skillo Inc. I clarified, I did a Google search of all our board members. I was looking to find out who they were, find out more about them. They don't share a whole lot. I came across Skillo Inc., found out what Skillo Inc. was. It raised red flags. I asked those questions. And really, then it became, why was the response the way it was from the district? Why did they respond the way they responded? I recently posted a clip where Kristin, the Board of Education president, also did a Google search to find out what Skillo Inc. was. So the idea that somehow it was a baseless claim I was making, I wasn't making a claim. I found information, raised some red flags, asked questions, and absolutely shared it with our community because the transparency has been terrible. Now, though, after watching the board meeting from July of 2019, where that clip from Kristin came from, there's other red flags. So this next clip I'm going to play for you is Kevin Beers and explaining why he is supporting Scott to be on the board.
Basically, a coin flip. I think I would tip slightly to Scott Muska.
Why?
Well, part of it is some of the experience that he's had, and one that I happen to know about that did not come out tonight. So I don't know if it's proper to talk about it or not.
Maybe. I don't know what it is.
I think you are aware of it though, because I think we've talked about it before. It was something that Scott was called to do in the city of Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think that was mentioned in his application packet.
It was. Yeah. Okay. All right. And for me, that resonated big time, and it spoke. And not to keep anybody in the dark, it spoke to race relations in the city of Milwaukee when they were under a crisis a couple of years ago. So that's something that really resonated with me, and you know, I feel like being on the spot like this, Mark. I don't want you to think that that this is downplaying anything that you have done, because I'm obviously what has come out tonight. It's fabulous what both of you have done. So I think that's what tips it ever so slightly for me.
Okay.
Michelle, can I ask for you to expound on that with Milwaukee, because I think I missed it and I am not seeing it in here on a quick review.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it in the.
It could have been found on a quick Google search of Scott. Maybe that's where I found it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see it in the board packet stuff. And Scott, if I'm mistaken about this, please make corrections. The police department in the city of Milwaukee, I believe the story was misidentified one of the Milwaukee Bucks basketball players, and who happened to be African American and very tall. In their misidentification, the treatment of that individual was very bad, and it created a big problem for the city and race relations at that time. I'm not exactly sure how it came to Scott, but I know that Scott was asked to moderate between the two sides, and that's what it is that I'm talking about. Does that help? Yes. Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's what I was getting at. I didn't know, what should be talked about. Scott, is any of that incorrect? Okay. All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, our time didn't allow for all of the very diverse backgrounds of everyone to come through. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up for sure.
So the foundation for Kevin's support for Scott being appointed to the board was a story that was not brought up in his interview, that was not in his application packet, that only him and Kristin knew about. Kevin didn't know how Scott got involved. Kristin claimed that it was in the packet. Michelle thankfully did ask for more information because it wasn't in the packet. And Kristin responded, it must have been from a Google search. Again, I Google searched all of our board members. I do recall the situation in Milwaukee as a sports fan. I did Google that one specifically. I can find no connection to Scott's name. I have reached out and asked for them to provide the information as far as what shows the connection to Scott. But in what world is it okay to hire someone based on information that didn't come out in the interview, is not in the application, and only is known by 2 of the 6 board members? And then for Kristin's claim that they didn't have time to get all the accurate information out, she had time to ask questions. And here in this next clip, you're going to hear how the last question was asked. And there was plenty of time.
Are we good? Does anyone have any? I think we have time for, one more. Yeah.
It'll be quick. We've heard a lot about your work and some work in Detroit, and I know there's some work with Oakland schools and things like that. Can you just speak quickly to any involvement in the Rochester community now, or would this be your first real delve into work here? Just bluntly.
No, good question. Yeah, I haven't really done a lot formally in the community. I mean, I really haven't.
I'm gonna swing towards Scott. His business acumen. So Scott, spun out a tech company from, one of the bigger companies in Detroit. And as I understand it, and this is all from Google, I know Scott's been looking to get involved in RCS for a while now. And a few different opportunities have come up, and this is one that worked timing wise.
There in the end, we again hear Kristin acknowledging that her information came from Google, not the interview process, not the application, but from Google. That she knows his contacts personally, that Scott had been looking to get involved in the community for quite some time. The timing didn't just work, but now it does. So yes, there's lots of red flags here that clearly need to be questioned. Was this interview process transparent? Was it fair? Did every applicant get a fair chance at the seat? Or was this one that was set up just to handpick Scott? So again, this has plenty of red flags, plenty of questions should be asked. And I think it also explains, really begs the question of why the response was cease and desist letters versus just having this open and honest conversation. There'll be more to come from this 2019 July board meeting. This was actually a great meeting. It was one of the few that actually had real dialogue in it. I'll be posting other videos from it. Thank you.